Okay. So can you guys see my screen? Please let me know in the chats. Okay, nice, nice, nice. I think you guys can see my screen. That's great. Okay, so let me just start. I am here and I have a handbook here that I have made so we can just learn things with ease and we can uh, discuss every part of the website development. So let's start with the introduction. What is website development? So basically, website development means building, creating, and maintaining websites and web applications that run on the internet. For example, we have a website like Google Meet, YouTube.com, or when you are using Facebook or Instagram with then .com domain and the website name that you put on any browser and you can get to the website. Those are called web. Those type of structure and stuff are called website development. It includes everything from making simple one-page website to complex platforms like YouTube, Amazon, or Instagram. So let's start with a simple analogy. That is, we use, for example, think of making a website like building a real house, and we will include three, sorry, four things in our website. The first one is HTML, which would be the actual wall and sporting background, sporting thing that will be for the building, so it can be stable. And then CSS, it 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 could be like the paint, the furniture, the branding, the decoration in your stuff. And we have JavaScript. It's the functional body like electricity, plumbing, automation for a, for example, button handling and everything like stuff. So this is we include in a website. We have four things. Please note it down: HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and backend server, mainly known as PHP, that we use as to store something. For example, we want to make a database. For example, there's a database, and in website you include a form where you will put your email and will put your message, whatever you want, and it would be stored in a database that it would be transferred to the specific staff person, and they will be able to contact you by looking into database. Second thing is that there are two type of websites: static and dynamic. Static website is you can say that it works, it shows the exact same content to every single visitor, and it does not change unless a developer changes the code manually. For example, if we make a website in VS Code in an IDE, an integrated development environment, then to make an every update you want in your website, you have to change the code manually in your folder or your in your directory. So this would be a lot more difficult task. We can give a real world example. For example, we have a restaurant menu page. Let me just scroll up and let me just put it down here. A restaurant menu page and on a resume or a company portfolio page. How can I compare it with this? Because the menu page cannot be changed unless when you make an update in your software, and then you can just print it out again and replace with the current one. And the second thing is dynamic website. What it would do, it would change the content automatically based on who is logged in, what time is it, or what the user searches for. For example, we have, if we take an example like Netflix, that shows the custom movies you want when you search, and Twitter X feed, that whenever a new person posts in a social platform, you will get those posts when you are logged in. Or also like Amazon shopping cart, when you are doing something like you are trying to find something and whatever the thing is. The second thing is how the web development actual the thing works. This is also called the client server model. Let me just copy paste in the chat here. Client server model. and I will get it again here. So basically, how it works. Such thing is every interaction on the internet is a conversation between main computers, the client and the server. The client is you, of me, and you, and the server is something like you're giving your details, and then it contacts with an second hand party, and then you get what you are searching for. For example, I have made a flow here. You types anything in your Chrome, in a browser like Chrome, and when you will search, what it would do, it will go, it would find the IP address for the domain name. Every domain has a unique IP address. When you are searching, when you have put any domain, it would find the actual IP address like like youtube.com. And what it will do, it will process the request and find website files. When the browser succeeds, like it when it got the files of the youtube.com domain, it would open it, like it would render the HTML. This is called HTML, like the content, the videos, CSS, and JavaScript, the functional body. So that's how the thing works. For example, here we can put a simple analogy, like you, the client or the browser, you sit at the table and look at the menu. You look, and what will happen? When you ask the waiter to bring a pizza, it is similar to when you search for something in a Chrome, in the browser, for example, Chrome or any browser you're using like Firefox, Safari, or anything. And what will do, the server will process the data, and in real world thing it would be a prepares your pizza using the ingredients, and what you will get at the last, so you will get the pizza to your table so you can eat it. Similarly, we will get our website files, use HTML, CSS, and JavaScript on our browser. Let me just explain it right away. There are key concepts explained simply. Let me just close it. So the client, basically the client or the browser, the device or app, for example, Chrome, Edge, or Safari on your phone or laptop that you use to visit a website. This is called, and the server, a powerful computer stored in a data center that always stay on 24 by 7, and it would store everything like website code, images, and user accounts. And the IP address, a unique set of numbers assigned to every computer. It works like a house postal address. So these things are used to find your request. The fourth thing is DNS. This is called domain name system, the phone book of the internet. For example, human remembers name like google.com while computer use IP numbers. DNS converts name to numbers. That what does DNS do. The fifth thing, the last thing is web hosting. This is a paid service where you rent space on a server to store your website files so anyone in the world can access them. For example, if we have very examples, like you want to buy a domain for a website, we have Wix. Let me just show you. I think not Wix, it is GoDaddy. Let me show you here. GoDaddy domains. I will open it here. Okay, just ignore my internet. For example, if I want to buy a domain like codeexpertise.com here, and what it would do, the website will be showing me the prices and the availability of the domain that I'm asking. So though this name exists and this is asking me to rent for it in a server, so it can show my website files to the whole world. So this is the thing we are happening here. So till now, do you have any questions, and have you understood everything that I'm trying to teach? Guys, come on, please ask something in the chat so I can also check that you are mentally present in the meeting. Okay, Sardar Power, do you have any questions? Actually, it is not compulsory to buy a hosting. We have many free options like Netlify. What it would do, they have already, oh, sorry, not this. They have already rented some spaces on the specific server, and they just what they will do, they will give you a free service. But there are some drawbacks. There are some drawbacks. The security will be negligible. Let me just put here. So what it would do, let me just close it. Okay, what it would do, let me roll up. Number thing will be security will be weak, performance will be slow, and they will have their own domain. For example, if you are buying a host name like Cody.com and you want free options because you don't have money, so what they will do, they will name it like Cody.netlify.app or net or everything, like anything they want to do. So basically, this is available, but yeah, this is available, but you know, there are three things to consider that they will not be suitable for everyone. So this is the thing I'm talking about. Okay, so let me just move towards think what happens when you visit a website. Step by step, I will be guiding you as I told earlier. For example, if we type in our browser, let me just do it practically like this. When we put this, what will happen? Your browser asks the DNS phone book, like the server, those stores the thing, the IP of that specific URL. For example, if the IP of the website is this, the DNS will ask this URL to give this IP the unique identifier, the unique to identify something with a unique number, a set of numbers. So when the DNS could find it, then what it would do, our browser establish a safe connection. What do you mean? HTTPS have HTTPS came. Okay. Right. So here the HTTPS thing comes, like it would establish a safe internet, sorry, safe connection. So no one outside of this connection can access to your network. Step 4, what it will do, your browser sends an HTTP request saying, please send me the homepage file. What it will do, it would ask that specific URL to give the main files that are displayed to the internet. When the server response gets, we can get files like HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. For example, we have right, and you can see that this is HTML and this is CSS and everything is in the thing. Let me just press F12 on your so you can just check it out. This is our HTML, everything we are setting up, displaying every type of content, and we have CSS here, and I also can show JavaScript. So everything is right there. The step 6 when your browser reads HTML code decorated with CSS and it enables JavaScript features that will be displaying on the page on screen. So now let's talk about front-end and back-end development. What are these? Front-end is basically client side, that it is basically everything a user sees, touches, and clicks on screen. For example, if your goal is to make the website easy to use, beautiful, and fast on all devices, and we will be using languages like HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, and some tools here. And who worked on it? Who works on it? Front-end developers, like those who know HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, and the UI UX designers who make such designs and decorations. The backend thing is basically the hidden engine behind the website that handles data and rules. For example, if you want a goal that it has a goal of save user data safely into a database that should not be shown to the client. Handle payments like establish a safe connection between the not the payment provider and the client itself, and passwords, check passwords and emails. The languages used for it would be Node.js, Python, Java, that we will discuss later. The, the databases that are used for it, those are SQL, MySQL, and MongoDB. And who works on it? Backend engineers and database admins. And what about a full stack developer? A full stack developer is someone who knows how to build both the front end, the UI, the interface, and the backend, the server and database. They can build an entire application from scratch on their own. The fifth thing is core building blocks of front end. For example, in the HTML, I will be starting the practical thing of HTML making and everything in the next lecture. But for now, we will be discussing only HTML5. HTML5 is the fifth version of HTML that is being updated in like few years ago, and it is the latest version of HTML. What it defines context structure like heading, text, button, links, and anything, forms. For example, if you have this statement, what it would do, it would make a heading and it would display a heading on a website you are trying to make. Like this is a simple paragraph, and if you're trying to make a button, click me. And to make that button accessible or to function, we use JavaScript. Second thing is CSS3. CSS means cascading style sheets. It's basically adds design, colors, fonts, margins, and responsive layouts. For example, this is too much. I think this is too much difficult. So let me just make it simple by step by step. Here, what it gone button is a tag where you have the text click me. What it would do, it would make the background color blue. It would make the text color white, and it would give the space of 10 pixel, and it would reduce the border radius to 5 pixel. So this is everything we need to know in CSS. The third thing is JavaScript is the programming language. HTML is known for hypertext markup language. It is a hypertext markup language. It is not a programming language, so do not confuse it with this. JavaScript is a programming language. It adds interactive logic, animations, and updates content without refreshing. For example, if we have this, what it would do, it would find the button, and when we click the button, we will get alert in the console that button was clicked. So I will be doing this practically everything in our next lecture. So be ready for the next lecture. It could be on tomorrow or maybe some days later. The next thing is HTTP basics, methods, and status. So basically, when a browser sends a message to a server, it uses an HTTP method that what action to do and receives the HTTP status code, and it means what happened. For example, if we have get, it would fetch data, post, it would create data, put or patch, it would update data, delete, it would remove data. In this, it asks server to read and send back information like the user have viewing a profile page. It would create data. For example, you are submitting a sign up form or uploading a photo, and when we are going to update data, it would like, for example, if you are changing your password, changing your name or whatever, it would be called update data. And delete, when you delete something like deleting a post or canceling an order. So this is the basic HTTP status codes. Like for example, 200 okay, which means success. Server sent back the requested page or data. 201 created, like you have created something like your new post or new account. And the third thing is 301 302. It meant redirect, means the page moved you to a new address. The browser will take you there automatically. 400 bad request, it means that a mistake has been made by a client. For example, if you have not filled something that was required, for example, in a form that is required, and the fifth thing is 401 unauthorized. You are trying to access something that is not accessible, that is not for you, you know. And the sixth thing is 404 not found. It means the page you are trying to search is does not exist on the server. And the seventh thing, the last thing is the server bug, which means that the server you are trying to access, or you mean the server is trying to uh the server is like glitching, or it has a crash while processing a request. Or for example, if we reach search from an AI and it suddenly got crashed, so it could be like server error. The seventh thing is essential beginner developer toolkit. So basically, when you need to start learning and practicing web development from today, you need three essential free tools, especially recommended by me. Number one is an code editor. Visual Studio Code. As you know, most of you guys would know about this. It is the most popular text editor for writing HTML, CSS, and JavaScript cleanly with auto completion and extensions that can be used later in our lectures. The second thing is a modern web browser like Chrome, Firefox, or Edge. I will be using Google Chrome for everything. And the third thing is Git and GitHub. Git would track changes in code history, so you never ever lose work. And GitHub, where we save and share your code projects with others. The last thing is I will be telling you here is key glossary terms to remember for exams. Here we have URL, the web address you type in a browser, for example, youtube.com, GoDaddy, Wikipedia, ChatGPT, anything. And second thing is HTTPS, which is a secured version of HTTP that encrypts your password and credit data so hackers cannot steal it. The third thing is responsive web design. It would be like building web pages that automatically resize according to your device. Like when you are using a laptop, it would render the exact resolution of the device you are using, like laptop, tablets, and phone. Fourth thing is DOM, document object model. It is basically a tree structure that the browser builds from HTML code, allowing JavaScript to dynamically change text colors and content on the screen. And fifth thing is API, application programming interface, a messenger that allows two computer systems to talk to each other. For example, if we have a travel website, we can fetch without making our own stuff. Like we can just get an API key and we can showing live weather data from a specific platform. So this is it we have done we have done with the website intro and everything we have learned today. And yes, Davidson Alexander, front end is client side, while backend is server side. Okay. So do you have any questions right now? Till now? And can you, if you have, then you can sure you can ask from me. Are you sure that everything is clear, Sardar Power? Okay. So I will be ending the meeting because we have covered everything for web development, and in the second lecture we will be doing some advanced things like doing practically and explaining everything, how to set up VS Code and every extension. So it's all over for now. Thank you for joining me and getting this lecture. I appreciate that you guys all love and you have no questions right now. So we can end the meeting, and we will be discussing everything from tomorrow in the second lecture. Thank you guys. Take care. Bye bye.